All right, all right. Well, look, the first solo show. There we go. Well, welcome. Let's talk with Gales and Dean. I'm your host, Gales, as usual, and you may notice, or you may not, that my main man Dean is out. He is celebrating the wonderful birthday of his daughter. Shout out to Annika. Happy birthday to you. What are you about? 20, 40? I don't know. I don't know how to do these things, but there you go. So this week, I'm going to rely heavily on you because sometimes your backup plans, backup plans don't really work out. So you just got to, do your thing by yourself. But if you happen to be watching this and you want to jump on and help a brother out, that'd be great. All you have to do is click this link right here. Boom, there we go. And join us. Or just join me. So we usually do a silly little intro and all that sort of thing. I gotta collect my breath here. I was trying to make some last minute coffee, but I didn't quite make it. That's why you can't do stuff last minute. But today's show, I'm just gonna talk about parenting just a little bit. All right. So we titled the show "Good and Bad Parenting," and yeah, I definitely want to know what people think out there. For me personally, I know it's been quite the journey. Before I became a parent, I kind of had this idea that I've watched kids, right? I've babysat before. All I gotta do is lay out my expectations, make sure they know who's boss, right? Feed them a few snacks, give them a few this and that, the other, and then move on. But and my wife can attest to this. Uh, I would actually say these things to her, and she had children, two beautiful daughters already, and tried to warn me, man, that no, that's not how parenting works. Like it works like that for you when you babysit because you get to give them back, which is fantastic. Not that you don't love them, but little doses here and there. So what I after I got married and got initiated as dad, yeah, then I start to see a little bit more about what it means to be an actual parent. And man, let me tell you, picking your battles is number one in our house. That's the biggest rule that I break, because my wife is like a superstar. And if you guys are watching this, please get in the comments and let me know like how in the world do you do this? My wife is already in the comments here. Thank you, wife. Um, yeah. So how in the world do you guys work the parenting, especially in two parent homes, right? Is it one person's the disciplinarian, the other person isn't? I don't know. Another, I guess, way to look at parenting, because I coach as well, is kind of like a coaching job. How do you motivate these little people and mold them into your ideal of a good, civilized person here in society, especially in today's age, where they listen to what's up, Brian? Where they listen to the internet and everything else before you who provide clothes and shoes and food and shelter, electronics, all those electronics they ignore you for, right? What what are some of your things? I got Brian Zaydan. What's up, man? He says good cop, bad cop. See, that's what I'm talking about. So for you, Mr. Zaydan, who's the good cop and who's the bad cop? Right? So yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like in our house, I'm definitely always the bad cop because my wife is short and cute and full of levity and wisdom. And I'm very emotional. Everything's on my sleeve. If you hurt my feelings, you know it, right? If you make me proud or happy, you know it. So that can be both a blessing and a curse. But I know for me, I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely been a journey. But I know that I can't be alone. All right, because I'm raised in the South, come from the South, and here's what happens in the South. You do as I say, not as I do, and you do it with smile and manners or else, right? Or at least that's how I used to be. I will say, Byron said and said it alternates. So I will say that it's when I last visited Tennessee from New Mexico out here where I'm at now, it's changed a lot. I had this different depiction in my head of what the South is and what it looks like, and there are manners everywhere, and even the traffic isn't that bad because people in the South care about each other and all that sort of thing. But nah, nah, just never works. Oh, thanks a lot, wife. She's in the comments with, I am neither. I'm super cop. See what I'm talking about, Brian? This is what I deal with, man. People out there, this is what I deal with. Because she's absolutely right. It's not bragging if it's true, right? I don't understand. Like, so when we have these situations, my wife can go in and diffuse the situation. What we want our police officers to do, right? Diffuse the situation, separate the engaged parties, and just like pull some like mental jujitsu on them, right? So when my wife is punishing or correcting or whatever, it's a real like calm thing to where they're actually laughing during like while she's issuing out punishments. I'm like, how does she do that? And then I try and it comes off, I'm sure, fake. And the girls are very smart, so are the boys, and they can pick up on it. And so they're just like, nah, man, where's the explosion, Dad? Come on, let's do it. And that's what ends up happening, you know. But I would love to hear from people how they parent. What's their parenting style? What are some of your secrets? What are some of your failures and successes and all that sort of thing? And if you'd like to join the show, and just go ahead and click that link, follow the prompts. You need Google Chrome, and then you'll be able to you'll be able to just come on and chat with me. So one of the things that I know for me as a parent, especially looking back now, is I was definitely too soft on him. And soft in that way of like, if you do XYZ, I'm gonna do XYZ, and not following through on those threats, incentives, or anything. And that's something that I definitely need to work on. So I don't know. I really would like to hear from people what they do. Brian say dance in the chats. Appreciate you, buddy. Says sometimes you got to be Samuel Jackson. Snakes on the plane. Hey, hey, I hear that. I hear that. I will tell you one of the things that happened with me, especially with my 16-year-old. We do this thing where we find articles and videos to kind of, that's how we argue if we're not doing it, face to face. One thing she showed me was, I guess approaching kids with questions and, maybe trying to understand their side without any agenda and all that sort of thing. And at first I just rolled my eyes like, get out of here, and then maybe not too long after that, my friend on Facebook is doing some posts about, what do you call it? Some post on how not to like yell at the kids, because that's a huge thing, right? Um, I thought it's all interesting, to try to look at how you're doing it under the guise that what you're doing probably isn't the best way to do it, and how do we change that, right? And so that's something that I'm trying to incorporate in my parenting, right? It's not as easy as coaching. I think that's one of the biggest things. And look, I may be wrong in this, but I feel like, I'm 6'4", I'm 300 plus pounds. I walk outside the door, good, bad, or ugly, it commands a certain amount of respect automatically, right? Most of the time when I open my mouth to say something, it's not terribly, egregious, but yeah. So I feel like with my teammates, my coworkers, and all that, they're asking me for advice and, oh, appreciate it, big girls, and all this kind of thing. And then I come home with that same sort of swagger, like, all right, okay, so your room is dirty. Here's how we can fix it. And it's just met with such an opposing force, right? Like, how dare you even come here? Now, I mean, they don't say it, they're respectful, but some of these looks, man, how dare you come in here and dictate what I do in my room and all this sort of thing, right? And so, I don't know. It's a very strange feeling to in one place be kind of elevated and then it flips, right? And I know, look, I gotta be out here babbling because this is about the time the dean will kick in with some funny story about how he's the greatest parent on earth. Right. So yeah, man. Um, so yeah, I really do wonder, how people look at their own parenting. Do you think that you're good parents? Or are you one of those that think, oh, I'm a terrible parent? Right? What is it? What is it about this parenting thing that can be so difficult? But of course, all it's great, right? That feeling of when the light bulb clicks in your kid, right? When they're cleaning their room or picking up like a little piece of trash without being told. Like, how great can that be? You know? So, anywho, that's what I thought I would go with this good and bad parenting thing. Um, I don't know. It's one of those things that I really do want to improve, but there are a lot of times that I just feel like I'm doing a really good job. When I'm getting them to bed on time, they're getting up and getting out to school and all that sort of thing. But then when it's bad, it's like, man, I need y'all to remember all that good. Just bear with me. We're all learning. I just wonder how many parents out there are willing to admit that, like, okay, I was just doing the best I could. That was a dad bad. That's what we call it in my house. It's the dad bad. Let's come on to the negotiating table and let's figure some things out. You know. But looking at it, I was talking to someone about pretty sure it was LeVar Ball. And it may have been Dean actually. And Dean is telling me about how LeVar Ball is a genius. He's a genius. He did X, Y, Z, and, the shoes and all that sort of thing. And I just thought, like, I don't know if I buy that, man. I don't know if I buy that. LeVar Ball is one of these people who he was very loud, and maybe he did boost their chances by talking them into scholarships and whatever. I mean, according to him, of course. Putting his name out there, getting a lot of buzz around him, and around the ball boys. But I don't know. I don't know how much of that would have still happened if he was just been one of those parents to just sit back and be quiet, right? So LeVar Ball is the very rash, loud guy parent over here, and then you have some parents who are like, just let the kids do whatever they want and they'll figure it out. It's like where are we at in the middle? Because most of us are in the middle. I've got my wife in the chat saying, who is an example of a good parent to you? One widely known. Oh man. That's a good question, wife. Thank you. Let me see. You know what? Just since Dean isn't here, and I feel like I can say this without him jumping through the internet and trying to drop kick me in the shin. I'd say LeBron James. LeBron James is widely known. That criteria is met. Let me see. Yeah, and I think he's a great parent. He gets a lot of flack for being at his kids' games and stuff. And that's right, Zayden. So he gets a lot of flack being in his kids' games and being very involved. And of course, people try to turn that into him trying to always hog the spotlight, even from his children. And I'm not sure if that's the case. He was brought up by his mother. His father wasn't involved. I mean, as far as we know. And I can see him just in the back of his mind, no matter what he did, was like, one, I'm gonna make sure my mama is good. Right. Two, I'm gonna make sure I'm good so I never have to go back to where we came from, not physically go back, but having to worry about poverty and all that sort of thing. But I'm sure in the back of his mind, it was when I'm a father, I'm gonna be the best dad ever, right? I think that was great. One of the things I love about watching Space Jam is there's the part where he's trying to be, super dad and well, I'll tell you, when you on this court and all that kind of stuff. And I just immediately was just like, this is some horrible acting, man. There is no way. Like, I couldn't imagine him being that, that tough on his kids about basketball. I could see him being coach and supporter and, preaching hard work and all that sort of thing. But, the way it was depicted in the movie, I thought was hilarious because I didn't see it. But yeah, that would be an example. Someone who's involved, but has that good balance of when to just focus on basketball, his career, and his the shop and all these things he's got going on, and when to be present when he's with his family. They seem to always enjoy having him around. They seem to be really excited. So I think that would be a good example of a widely known dad. Thanks, their wife. Brian say that, man, you two are saving my life here. Cause look, I was ready to shut this thing down. I ain't gonna lie. But Brian say is in the comments with man, parenting every day is a lesson. You gotta try to have more good days than bad days. I like that. I like that. And he, of course, shouts out LeBron too. That's right, Dean. When you're not here, this is what happens. We love LeBron talk. But yeah, man, I love it. I love it. Make sure you have more good days than bad days. He also says 50-55. He says this is a great LeBron love hour. A little bit. So that's a weird thing too, because again, Jordan is my GOAT. We get into a lot of GOAT talk, which it's kind of ridiculous for me, but if I had to choose one, gun to my head, I would say Jordan is my GOAT for many reasons. But I just like messing with Dean and people like Dean who hate for no reason. I find it very interesting. Yeah. So the wife says, "How many games are in the NBA season?" Oh, Brian is answering the question. Oh, see, she's producing from the other room. Thank you. So he was saying how many games are in the NBA season and how many games does the NBA basketball team have to win to be considered a good team? Yeah. So Brian says 55, 56. I thought it was 82 games. 82 games. And so my wife is in the chat saying that that's parenting. I like it. So I don't think any team has gone undefeated, have they? I'm about to look that up. I don't think any team has gone undefeated. But what they do is try to win enough times, right? Like Mr. Zaydan said, more times than you lose for sure, above 500, in order to get yourself a chance to be in the playoffs and then be successful in the championship. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. 73-9 Warriors, best record ever. That's right. Oh man. Dean gonna crush me for that. I should have known that. But yeah. So that's one of those things, parenting, right? I like to think of it like well, maybe not as bad as baseball. Let me take that out. Because baseball is definitely a losing sport. If you're being a parent 3 times out of 10, you will not make the parent Hall of Fame. You know? But yeah, so what are some of y'all's worst experiences like? And you don't have to get too personal, but some bad habits that you have as a parent, right? Like for instance, me and my, all right, give me that phone. You won't see this daggone phone for 2 weeks, right? And then they, clean really well the first night. The next night, they ask me about my day, and it's like, all right, man, you did a good job. I'm proud of you. Here's your phone back. So, what are some of your bad habits as far as being a parent? Yeah, and if you're just joining us, we're talking good and bad parenting because we can all look at how to, the worst end of the spectrum, right? Where bad parenting goes wrong, and then it creates a lot of pain and suffering, and that pain and suffering, all it does is seek to find the next generation victim, right? So, what sort of thing are we looking at here? Good and bad parenting. Yeah. See, now I'm kind of feeling like Bo Money Jones when he's doing his the Evening Jones. So, anywho, good and bad parenting. Get in the chats. Let me know what are some good and bad examples, any questions, any situations, anything. So let me see. If you have anything to say, you want to come on and comment, share a story, whatever, just click that link right there. Follow the prompts. Make sure you have Google Chrome. So my wife is in there saying going in my bedroom and closing the door and ignoring my family on occasion. But then I buy y'all stuff, so that's true. The balancing act, right? Man, so wife, I was preaching the gospel of you all through Tennessee. So for those of you who don't know, my wife let me get away for the second year in a row watched all four of our kids while still working, while I was in Tennessee under the guise of work, right? Trying to build this thing and see family and friends, of course, but really work on this podcast stuff. But yeah, I appreciate it. And so one of the things we developed was having an hour to ourselves. Even though I've been terrible about that, and I'm sorry, wife. There are times where I've actually kind of put her to work during that hour that we're supposed to be relaxing and building intimacy and whatever else happens. sorry, sorry, wife. But yeah, good and bad parenting. I'll tell you what. So me and my follow throughs. Also, me taking things personally. Right. Like I said, I'm an emotional person. I usually wear my what do you say, heart on my sleeve sort of thing. Uh, to where you may have so I'm bad at following through. The girls especially, they give me the puppy dog eyes and I'm sorry, and they tell me their reasoning of here's where it all went wrong, Dad. And it's like, all right. Yeah, so I'm really bad at that. The boys are just popping in the back of the head and keep it moving. I know that's shameful. That's shameful. But yeah, so I don't know, man. It's one of those things, this parenting thing, man, it's not easy, but it's so rewarding, you know. They are nonstop. But I'm telling you, other parents, you gotta get in the chats to help me out here. Like sort of a testify thing. What are some of the things that really allow you to flourish? I mean, so keep going, right? Things like that. Oh. So yeah, that's my 2 year old there. So, what are some of the things that you do that you really want to improve? You know, what are some bad habits that you had, and maybe how did you get rid of them? For me, I'm a loud person anyway, but when I get upset, I can get on the yelly side. I don't like it. I always feel bad afterwards. I know they feel bad, so that's definitely something I definitely want to get rid of, 100%. You know, and I'll share what we talked about before, which was taking your feelings to the gym. Right, guy by the name of Bomani Jones is talking to Dominique Foxworthy, and they were kind of trading stories back and forth. One has a child, one doesn't, and him saying to his friend there, like, oh, so one guy tells him the guy with kids is saying like, sometimes you just can't help how you feel, and kids hurt your feelings. I know you're saying don't let the kids hurt your feelings, but sometimes it happens, and you can't control how you react to that, right? Like anything else. And the guy without the child says, "Yeah, but I also feel like you could take your feelings to the gym." So that's what I'm doing, working on taking my feelings to the gym, and it's been an experience, because I can be loud and have bad tone and all that sort of thing, but like one of the things I tried out that I think it worked a lot. Now I'm biased because I'm the one who came up with the daggum idea. But I got a little receipt book, right? And what I would do instead of being loud and talking too much, lecturing, what I would do is I would fill out a receipt book, like a ticket, write them a ticket, and they'd have their copy, I have my copy. Everything that they did, if they wanted to dispute it, they could do that. Um, And so that worked for a while, but I don't you know what? Honestly, I don't even know why it stopped. I didn't come up with that. What? Where did I get that from, wife? Boom. She says, you didn't come up with that. Where did I get that from then, wife? See, in my mind, I came up with it. Maybe I didn't. Me? Wait a minute now. Okay, fine. I don't know. Basically, you know what? So while you're in the chats there, wife, Mrs. Gales, what what caused me to what caused us to stop that? I thought that was good. Hey man, I need you to focus on spoiling my little niece out there, getting in the checks in. And do you know what you're talking about, big fella? I thought I did. Yeah, so now you just shaking all of my confidence. I appreciate it, man. Ain't nothing like a nice producer from afar, you know? I appreciate that, Mr. Dean. So yeah, so Dean, we're talking about good and bad parenting. There was an idea that I guess I saw or got from my wife to ticket my kids because we had the family meeting, right? And one of the complaints was how loud I am and how long I lecture and all that sort of thing. And so what I would do, I bought this little receipt book, right? And you know how it has the double copy. So I'd write them a ticket. So I wouldn't say anything to them. I wouldn't lecture them. I'd write out everything they did that they weren't supposed to, or vice versa. And then I had them sign it. And then if they did what they were supposed to and corrected it, you know, they didn't have to pay the fine. If they didn't, then they had to pay the fine. Right. So yeah, so he says you get in your feelings. So the wife says you get in your feelings when the children get in theirs. I do. I do. I don't feel it's justified. I'm the one that's really, hurting here. It says, geez, ticket the kids. What's the quota? See, now, don't get me started on some political police talk, man. I don't believe there should be a quota. How about that? There's got to be a better way to figure out whether or not your officers are doing what they're supposed to. And you look, I don't even know why I stopped it. Matter of fact, the more I think about it, I'm getting upset because I'm like, that's a good idea, right? So if your complaint is he talks too much, he's too loud, right? And his tone, even when he's not loud and being very short-winded, his tone is very mean, right? Though if those three are the complaints, a ticket just handles that. I write the ticket, there's your copy, boom, we move forward. You do what you're supposed to, great, you may get a reward. You don't do what you're supposed to, sorry, what's the ticket fine say? That's right, give me that daggone phone. So yeah, man, wife, I'm not sure about this, bro. Dan says, it's all love, big dog. Sorry I didn't make the show during Annika's birthday party as we speak. He's he's doing it. Yeah, that's what I said, man. You just focus on spoiling my niece. That gummit. So yeah. So what are some of your good parenting, your bad parenting? Get in the comments, click the link, join the show. Do they get their day in court? Hey man, I'm an American, a red-blooded American, and I do believe in people getting their day in court. We believe in the Constitution, right? So yeah, so they absolutely can appeal. I mean, but their mother is judge, jury, and executioner. See, that's the key right there. Nobody wants to get involved. Maybe that's why we stopped the ticket thing because I probably was trying to usurp her position. And you know what? Never mind. Here's what's gonna happen. Pride, men, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, we're talking good and bad parenting. You can absolutely click this link right over here. Boom. Scroll to the beginning, whether you're joining us from YouTube or Facebook Live. Scroll up, click the link, get on and share your stories, man, or just stay in the comments and make me read. Thanks. Yes, 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 you. She says, who me? I don't even know why I'm reading the comments. They're right there. Boom. You guys can read it for yourself. Yes, they get their day in court. Right. So, yeah, I think the ticket thing was a good idea, man. Again, talking good and bad parenting, ticket the kids. That took away tone, volume, and my lengthy explanations to to what can go wrong in the future if you don't listen to me now, right? I think if you strip it down, that's kind of what it has. But it's hard coming from where I come from and giving your children a say, right? Because then it's that very delicate thing you're doing of do you want to? I mean, if you give them too much say, right? What does that look like? If you don't give them enough, what does that look like? So trying to find balance somewhere there in the middle, you know. I don't know. Get in the comments, wife. What do you think we do? Like 70, 80%, right? We give them about 20% of say. Or at least I know I am. That's probably one of my biggest bad. Brian say that's it. What about the Switch? Yeah, man. We have a Nintendo Switch. my children have never, to my knowledge, been whooped with a switch. Um, I'll have to get the girls to fact check it. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so the switch thing, times are changing. 'Cause let me tell you something. I'm a Bible man, and it says, "Spoil, spare the rod, spoil the child." Right. So I really do think that's more for younger kids. Although back in the day, some of those punishments, man, was take you out to the square and give you 30 lashes. And I know statistics weren't really that much in the forefront of the minds of the people of the times, right? But I think I know I would love to see the statistics of that number of how many of those like thieves or people who are adults and got the 30 lashes, how many like were there how many repeat offenders were there? I don't know. What about the switch? Said you gotta be Joe Jackson sometimes. Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I feel like if I was Joe Jackson, like, yeah, we definitely have some Jackson 5. Like all my children, are artists and artists, not Joe. Yeah, man. But so yeah, that's a weird thing, especially in today's time, because I do believe in corporal punishment. Nose on the wall, picking cherries, pop that butt. There. Please nobody arrest me. They says I give my daughters all the time. Them boys, different story. LOL. Oh, he gives into his daughters. I know, man. I don't know what to say about these daughters, man. I don't know what it is. See, and that is absolutely sexist of both of us, Dean. And we got to do better. If we're gonna body slam our boys, I think we should body slam our girls too, or not body slam either one of them. I don't know. Answers out there. Ms. Gill says my motto is not, or my motto is, this is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship, and I am the dictator. That is absolutely true. Yeah. Who do? Brian say, "Dan, Brian, like I gotta get you on the show one of these days, man, to tell that story." He says Nerf footballs work, right? I think it works for you because you had that baseball, that center fielder, that quarterback in the arm, and accuracy, right? I don't think it will work as well with me. Dad gummit. I'm about to kick Joe's bleep just a minute ago. You know what? They're gonna pay the man. How you not here and still gotta? Oh, come on, Dean. I told you this is never gonna love us. So yeah. So I get it. I get it. It's tough for us parents out there. I hope some kids, if they stumble across this silly, silly show, can understand that side of things. That man, as hard as you think it is, like imagine bills and taxes and you know just everything. Just imagine everything on top of whatever anxiety or anything you're feeling. So I think at our core, we parents want our children to be better than us. Hold on. See, this is what's so cool about the mute button. There you go. See, I only yelled that time because I'm so far away. See, growth. Mr. Dean says, okay, back to the party now. Call me later. Will do, sir. Will do. Enjoy. Tell everybody say hello. So yeah, it's one of those things of like, what do you do? Especially here's the thing. When you have a child that you think, I'm all right, I'm gonna try it this way, right? I'm gonna talk and warn and set expectations. And if they don't follow through like they're supposed to, maybe I'll pull it back a little bit, right? Maybe I'll just, you know, adjust that way. But what happens if like it seems like nothing's working? Now I'm gonna chat a few minutes to figure that out. What happens when like you feel like nothing's working? What do you do then? Like, what's your go-to? There we go. Yeah, I see you on there. Hello, hello, hello. Uh, Again, for those of you just joining, we're talking good and bad parenting. Now, let's see. What's another? Look, I know my wife is in the comments there. What's another? Uh, you know, what's another thing that happens? Right, Lord, my 2-year-old. Now look, I can't put him on camera because my wife would absolutely kill me because he don't have his hair did. So whenever the boys are at the house with me, they just look kind of rough. What are you doing, Stick? Oh, don't turn away now. All right. No, just see if you can, color them or whatever. See, this will be a great time for like some sort of dart. Just, I'm not advocating for like chloroform or anything out there, but I'm just saying like sometimes you need a little nap, man. Mr. D's love to all our Let's Talk with Gales and Dean fans. See y'all next week. Yes, yes, yes. We have much to talk about. Um, so yeah. Oh, that's good, wife. Sometimes being a parent is a war of attrition. Amen to that. Oh man. So one of the things that get in there about, another blind spot I might have as a parent there, wife. Like, you know, I feel like you're a good judge of character in that sense. But yeah, man, get in here with y'all stories. Like what are some things that y'all are doing right? What are some things that y'all are doing wrong? Some things you like to change? I just really don't know, boy. It's tough. Okay, I see you. No, that's my 2-year-old in the background. Thank you. Yeah, man. So good and bad parenting. Okay. One of the things I'm trying to do better at is listen. Like actively listen, not just listen for the next point, because I feel like in some of my old conversations, what would happen is it'd be like playing checkers or something. I'll say checkers because I don't say chess, I don't think that it was that sophisticated, but it's like playing checkers. All I'm doing is wait for them to get done with their move so I can counter them and eventually win the game. And I think once I started to one learn for myself, one how bad we as in humans are at communicating, right? And you can look up Wheel's Law of Communication. It's an interesting read. How bad we are at communicating, and once I saw that, I guess I felt okay enough to be able to turn that new information to myself, internalize it and see, what are my blind spots? What are my deficiencies, right? And so my listening was horrible. And I know it's probably I say was, I'm using that loosely because, it could probably still be pretty bad. But it's one of those things that I'm trying to improve. So where I am now is a lot better than where I was. So all right now. So yeah, so where I am now is a lot better than where I was. So now when I'm having a conversation, be it stranger, child, wife, I try to actively listen. And now I feel hypersensitive to, oh man, that was really bad right there, right? A little piece of conversation that was bad. Um, so what are some things that you all deal with and struggle with, and all that sort of thing? Oh, this is definitely a blind spot. Thank you, wife. My expectations of what a good parent is, the unattainable person. Right, right. That's a really interesting point. You know, because if I look at the Cosby Show, or well, maybe not the Cosby Show anymore, maybe not that one, but if you're watching Cosby before we knew all this stuff about Bill Cosby, uh, Dr. Phil, Carl Winslow, right? All these people, not Dr. Phil. That gummy Banks, Phil Banks. Fresh Prince. Sorry, lost my choo-choo of thought there. When you see that, it seems kind of unattainable and like superhuman almost. But yeah, that can be difficult. Looking at other examples that are way past anybody's uh, capability, right? Yeah, that can be interesting. Mr. Zaydan, Jordan is getting older. We are trying to learn how to let him be a teenager and let him make some mistakes, but it's hard. Let me tell you something, Brian. I got a phone call from my daughter. It's like, hey, because of my off campus class, she's a junior in high school now, and her off campus class doesn't start till next week. So she had all this free time. And one of her friends, who's a driver, her friend has been driving for a year, and now she's able in New Mexico to drive on her own. And she was like, she wanted to give me a ride and us go have lunch. And I panicked and I thought, this is one of those defining moments, like probably too much in my head. I'm thinking, if I say yes, does it now like feel like, oh, just do whatever? Right? If I say no, am I like crushing her socially and she's gonna always look back on this moment and you know what I mean? Just overthinking it. And so I did what any smart father would do. And it was like, hey, that's a mom question. If your mom says it's okay, go for it. I feel for people who don't have that option. I really do. But yeah, and then the mom thought like, okay, if she's been driving, make sure we know where she's going and she's communicating and don't be interacting a fool, distracting the driver and all that sort of thing. Right. While simultaneously teaching, my 16-year-old how to drive. It's like, whew, that's tough, man. I'm with you there, B right. It is difficult. Which is great, man. Staying with you all, and it was really fun talking to Jordan. Because I feel like I'm past that stage of like wearing too much of, like, oh, am I entertaining enough? Does he think I'm funny? Like at this point, I don't really care that much. I just am who I am, right? And so it was really interesting to ask him some very hard questions, right? And just watch him like, I don't know. I don't know if this is true, Jordan, if you're watching this, but this, you're watching the mental Olympics go on, right? Like, here's what I think, but I can't say that. Now, what if I just mold it, edit it, all that sort of thing? Oh, hey, handsome fella. Look at that. Mommy has got his hair done. Look at that. Hey, we're talking about good and bad parenting. You say hello? Say hello? Ooh, look at the shade on this one. You can't say hello? No? All he does is talk on this thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, while I'm thinking about it, look at this. Oh, yeah. And so I was styled by my wonderful niece, Juliet Murphy. What's up, Juliet? Hey, oh, Uncle Jeremy got his necklace on. Thank you very much for that. So it was really interesting watching Brian um do the or not sorry, not Brian. Watching Jordan, Brian's son, who will be a freshman over there at Spring Hill. Watching him really think about some things, I feel like he had an initial thought, a raw thought, but then he started to edit a little bit, and then a lot of time he would just settle on, "Oh, I'm not sure. It's okay." Oh yeah, get that Life 360 out. Life 360. I don't even know what that is. Life 360. Is that a special spy app for dads, man? I'll take it. What's up, man? I'm being invaded now. What y'all doing? You say hello? All right. So, yeah, man. No, and listen, when I say hard questions, I mean we talked about LGBTQ plus community, right? We talked about policing in America. We talked about a lot. Those rides where I was getting lost in the back roads there in Colombia, man. And yeah, it was really interesting. One thing I have going, I'm going to be interviewing some kids, 20 questions for 20 kids, because I really am interested in what they think, right? With the book club we got coming at the end of this month, we're doing Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. Hang on, son. We're doing Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler, and it's got some really good stories in there, you know. But I really am interested in what the generation coming behind us and behind them are thinking, what are they trying to do, all that sort of thing. You know, so I think that's one of the parenting skills I picked up late in life that, you know, I think it's really fruitful, right? Active listening. Active listening is very important. But really, I'll tell you one technique. Oh, okay, Brian, I see. Checks the kids, tells you drive speeds and everything. Bro, I listen, I'm writing it down right now. Hang on, son, I'm writing. Oh, I can't see with this puffing away, man. Let's see. Life 360? Yeah, because you're about to have a driver soon, pretty soon here. You want to write? You say please. You want to write too? What's your question, JJ? You having a? I only have lap space for one. You got that one? Okay, here you go. You get down there, right? You want to say hi, JJ? Help your struggling father out. So anyway, yeah, appreciate that, Brian. I literally just wrote that down. Life 360 out. So yeah. Oh, what? What's up, Mr. Richard? He says, yo. R.I.P. Bobby Bowden. Did he die? Really? Is that just now? Well, you kind of buried the lead there, Mr. Zaydan. Yeah. So anyway, before I get out of here, just the active listening thing. One of the things that I'm trying to get better at is yeah, what's up, man? As I get ready for the other show. Oh, today was the memorial service. Wow. What's up, Mr. Richard? So yeah, before I get out of here, parenting, good and bad parenting, right? Um, yeah, very nice, son. So one thing that I try to do now to really help with my active listening is repeat back to the person who's speaking what they're trying to say. So if Lil Jackson here, what's up, man? You need another one? So if Lil Jackson here, you know, is saying something, the technique is I repeat to him what I think he's saying from my perspective. And I can't move forward until he agrees that that's what he's saying. And that really is supposed to boost the accuracy of a conversation. So, you know, try this out. You know, we didn't do cows and tropics and all that. It don't feel right without Dean. He's out there partying hard with my niece, his daughter, Annika. Again, shout out to her. Happy birthday. Unless you get a no. Right, wife. I mean, there's always an exception to the rule, right? So in that she said too soon. No, no. I think I'm ready. It's good. So anywho, yeah. So join us, Mr. Anthony Richard down there, who's known on our new show, Urban Academia. It's Chulo Rich. I gotta work on that, bro. I'm so sorry. And that'll be on our What the Frout page. But look, Dean will be back next week. We'll be working on some interesting things. Definitely be talking about that Bobby Bowden thing. But yeah, man, just try to join us next week. Try that out with the parents, get in the comments, the message, and let us know if it worked, if it didn't, whatever. Yeah, peace.